Audio.
This podcast is called Obsessed. Joseph Scrimshaw and his guest get some secrets off their chest. You should listen. It's the best.
Hello and welcome to Obsessed with Joseph Scrimshaw on Feral Audio. I am your host. My name is still Joseph Scrimshaw. There's nothing I can do about that. This week's episode is close to my heart. It's all about that Star Wars movie called The Force Awakens. We recorded it live with a live audience. It was very live, and we had three awesome guests, Matt Belknap, Riley Silverman, and Clarke Wolfe. I will warn you right now, during the recording of this live episode, I stated a minimum of 2 incorrect Star Wars facts, and I am still writhing with shame. I am so sorry. Anyway, in addition to our great guests, you're going to hear our co-producer, Sarah Meyer, interviewing random human beings on the Venice boardwalk and getting their hot takes on The Force Awakens. But first, it's time to answer a listener question about their personal obsession. I throw out requests for obsessions for this segment on my Facebook and Twitter, so if you have an obsession that you would like addressed, just follow me on the social media as @Joseph Scrimshaw, and then answer when I ask for obsessions. Heidi McKella, apologies if I mangled your last name there, Heidi. Heidi says, I am obsessed with audiobooks. Am I allowed to say that I've read these books, or must I specify that I listened to them? Am I less of a literary enthusiast if I use my driving time wisely and listen to books rather than sports talk radio? Those are fighting words, Heidi. Does it make me an intellectual poser if I lovingly knit a friend's scarf while listening to Neil Gaiman tell me stories? Is my experience of the story somehow lessened if someone has read it to me? Heidi, my personal answer is absolutely not. I think listening to audiobooks is an entirely valid way to absorb literature. I think it's fine if you said, I read that book, or I listened to that book, or Neil Gaiman read that book to me. I, in fact, think that's the best way to say it. Of like, yeah, Neil Gaiman read that book to me. And I do speak from just a little bit of experience. I did a show once. I've done a couple of shows with Neil Gaiman. And at one of them, for complicated reasons, I gave Neil a ride in my car, in my Toyota Yaris. And without me even asking, he generously just told me a story about pirates. So I have actually had a story told to me in my car by Neil Gaiman, and let me tell you, that is the best way to absorb anything. Here is my one concern about audiobooks, though. They shouldn't interfere with the amount of time you spend listening to podcasts. I'll admit that that is a concern for me when it comes to audiobooks, and here is my solution. I think that there should be audiobooks of podcasts. All of us podcasters out there should try to get the back catalogs of our podcasts published in book-like tomes so that then they can be read by someone with just a deep, luxurious voice performing everyone who appeared on the podcast. And you'd get like audiobooks with warm, regal voices saying things like, yes, sure, I hear you, but, yeah, I guess my question is, how often do you think Batman masturbates? Asked Joseph. And his guest replied, wow, I don't know, but that is a good question. I mean, he is quite obsessive, so yeah, I wonder what Alfred would think. And it would just go on and on like that. This conversation that I just related might actually be an accurate reflection of a conversation that's been on the podcast, but I honestly don't remember. My point is, this is a great obsession, Heidi. 2 big thumbs up on audiobooks. You have read them if you've heard them. And now, for the best part of podcasts, plugs. Obsessed is now a weekly show. We're releasing an episode every Thursday. This is made possible by your kind support on Patreon. If you'd like to help the podcast out, you can throw us $1 or $2 a month by visiting patreon.com/Joseph Scrimshaw. Each month, we're also releasing a patron-only bonus episode. For February, we're doing an episode with screenwriter Josh Kagan, who wrote a little movie called The Duff, and Josh and I are going to be talking about my obsession with spoilers. So if you'd like to hear that, become a patron now. I don't know why I said it like that. It just sounded good. Shows. I do shows. This weekend, I'm performing at the Doctor Who Convention Gallifrey 1. Then coming up in March, I'll be performing at Wizard World in Las Vegas. And then, back in Los Angeles, I'll be on David Huntsberger's The Junk Show on March 13th. Then, on March 16th, I'll be doing a set on The Meltdown with Jonah Inkumel. You can find out about all my shows at josephscrimshaw.com/live-shows. But now, sit back, relax, reach out with your feelings, and enjoy our obsession with Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. The podcast is calling. Let it in. Thank you guys very, very much for coming to Obsessed with me, Joseph Scrimshaw. We're recording live at the Nerdist School stage on beautiful Sunset Boulevard. We are here to talk about The Force Awakens. Excellent. By the applause, I assume that you all here in this room have indeed seen The Force Awakens. Excellent. Excellent. I like that you answer everything with a polite, controlled round of applause. That's great. I myself am a huge fan of Star Wars and The Force Awakens in general. When I first saw it, I had a little bit of a weird experience where I was very moved by the film, but the second I got out of the theater, my phone was exploding with messages that I looked like one of the characters from the film. People have told me that I look like General Hux, and I wasn't sure how I felt about this. I was talking to another friend about it, and he was like, hey, you should feel really good. People are telling you that you look like a movie star. And I said, have you actually seen the film? And my friend said, no. Like, so you understand that General Hux is a whiny, pasty space Nazi, right? Just for the record, that is not a compliment to call someone a whiny, pasty space Nazi. So if you enjoy the show, by all means, applaud and tweet about it, and do feel free to call me a space Nazi, but know that you'll be hurting me just a little bit. And now, with no further ado, we're going to bring out our wonderful guest this evening. First, he's a podcaster, comedian, and producer of Never Not Funny, Matt Belknap. He's sucking out of a BB-8 cup.
Yes.
She's a comedian, a model, a big fan of both Doctor Who and Star Wars, Riley Silverman. She's sucking out of a normal bottle, but we won't hold that against her.
I haven't seen the movie yet, so no one spoil it.
Han lives. She's a writer, a reporter, and a host for shows on Nerdist and Collider, Clarke Wolfe. Clarke Wolfe is wearing what we've decided is a Princess Amidala necklace.
I know, I'm the only one that did not bring any Star Wars paraphernalia today, but I did see the movie today, and it was full at noon,
Wow.
a month after it came out. I think that's pretty awesome.
Cool, and I'm just going to correct myself because I said Princess Amidala.
What the
it is
hell?
Queen Amidala.
Or Senator
Yes,
Amidala, if you
Queen.
I'm
yes,
going to be
Queen.
Miss
murdered.
Amidala, if you're nasty.
And I am indeed.
I did
Very
not
nasty.
see it today. I went to go see it today, and I saw Carol instead. So it's a good
Very
movie as
different.
well. Yeah, I mean, I've seen Star Wars. I just didn't see it again today.
Now, was Harrison Ford in Carol?
Yes, he played Kate Blanchett.
Okay. And is it a remake of one of his films from the 80s? Because he has to remake all of them.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah, it was him and Shia LaBeouf having a romantic affair as lesbians.
Okay.
So it was really good.
So Carol is kind of witness to that.
Yeah, exactly.
Excellent.
Electric Boogaloo.
So we're going to go down the line, and I want you guys to tell me a little bit about your background, like how much you love Star Wars, what your Star Wars level is, and how you feel about The Force Awakens. We'll start with you, Matt.
It's Star Wars is the most important movie of my life, probably. It was the first movie I ever saw in the theater when I was 3 years old, the first one. And I've loved it my whole life. I own way too many toys that are Star Wars related. And I loved Force Awakens. I saw it the first show, and I've seen it 4 times now. So.
Awesome. Did you have fear going in that you wouldn't like it and it would upset your entire life?
No. I tried to... basically wipe my mind clean when I walked into the theater. I was just like, I'm not gonna have any preconception or anything. I'm just gonna go in and try to experience it. I think the way that I experienced the first 3 movies when I was a kid, which is like you just go in with an open heart, kind of. Right. You know what I mean?
And just let Star Wars wash all over your body.
Yeah. And luckily, I think the movie is good enough that that can work for you. Whereas like episode 1, I did the same thing with episode 1. And it sort of worked, but, as you think about it, like, I tried to convince myself I loved it, and then it just kind of
It washes all over your body, but it's a different sensation.
Yeah, it's kind of a slimy, weird feeling. But
yeah. So, Riley, what is your Star Wars in Force Awakens history?
So for me, Star Wars, I didn't jump into it right away as a kid. My brother loved it, and I, like, a lot of things that he was into, I kind of avoided. Like, he was into He-Man, I was into Ninja Turtles, stuff like that. So I didn't jump into Star Wars until like 3rd or 4th grade, and we went on a trip to Florida, and my parents had one of those vans that had a TV, and so they're like, you never watched Star Wars, so we're going to have you watch it. They'd bought like this 4 discs. It was like 4 tape set. It was like the 3 movies and like a making of special edition thing. It wasn't the special editions, because I'm older than that, but it was like from Star Wars to Jedi is what it was called.
Okay.
And I just remember sitting in the back of the car, and I think I watched each one of them like 4 or 5 times on that trip, and it blew my mind, and I got obsessed with it at that point. And then I became like, I started reading there was like a really awful series of young adult books for Star Wars that weren't like the main novels, and they were terrible.
Was it like Han Solo in puberty, or what?
It was like that kind of thing. It was like, it was weird because like it was happening at the same time as like the Thrawn trilogy, but it wasn't set during, like, there was like a weird thing where like it was called like Heir to the Empire. It was like that's the good ones.
Heir to the Empire.
This was like, but it was that same kind of premise, but it was like like the Emperor had a son named like Triclops or whatever. And like, I swear to God, these were real books.
I think somebody gave you a He-Man book and wrote Star Wars on the cover.
Yeah, they may have done that.
Your brother just put pages in there.
It was and they were like this thin. Like they were like this really awful. But I bought them at like a half price used bookstore at this trip we were on. So I read them all, and then I got really into the games for a while, and then I was obsessed with. I was somebody who, like, I think I was a junior in high school when the first prequel came out. Mm-hmm. So I was super excited, like, this new Star Wars finally. Yeah. And I remember I actually skipped school to go wait in line at the theater and, like, wait for tickets. And that was a bad call.
I will say on the podcast, because I have to, because I do a bunch of different Star Wars podcasts, there are a lot of people who love the prequels. It is a generational thing. So I'm just going to say that as a sort of disclaimer out loud, and we'll move on.
I was a high schooler, so I was, like, right at the age where, like, it should have been perfect for me. So.
Right. Yeah, it's a fascinating cultural touchdown where people of a certain age, it's just like, it's one of the things that we love to do is fucking hate those prequels. So how about you? How was your Force Awakens experience? Did you expect to love it? Did you love it?
So here's the thing. I think I tried to avoid it. Like, I did a really good job at, like, blacking it out over the course of the year. Mm-hmm. And, like, I think I saw the very first teaser the year ago, Thanksgiving, and I saw the Millennium Falcon and I go, I'm into this. And so I would I would leave the theater when I even heard the music start because I didn't want to see a second of the movie.
Like even if it was like somebody's cell phone ring had the Star Wars theme.
Yeah,
like I'm the fuck out of it.
Yeah. And then I think what really turned my corner of thinking it was going to be great was when I saw the special effects thing where they showed how they built a practical BB-8. And I was like, oh, they care about this movie being good. So this is going to be awesome. That's why I avoided it all. Then what happened was I didn't get tickets to the premiere night. I flew home on a red-eye Friday night. I didn't see it. And then my best friend from high school was like, hey, we should go see it together. And my birthday was the 21st. So he's like, I bought us tickets to go see it on the 21st for your birthday. So I'm like, okay, well, yeah, that'll be a cool like thing to do to connect and whatever. So I avoided Facebook all weekend to get off of it, like checking once in a while. Went in Sunday night to see if I had birthday wishes yet. I opened up my phone, and the very first post was this asshole from Portland named Brody Kelly, who I will say his name because fuck him. Literally, his post just said, Han Solo is killed by his son Kylo Ren, and like just every spoiler of the movie. He's like, Luke shows up at the very end. Everyone calls Leia General Organa. It's a fucking toy commercial. You guys are lame. And I want to go. You fucking saw it. Like you went to the theater and saw it to know those things.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I went in on my birthday pissed off because I was like, well, it's all. So I had a bad mindset going into it. Ended up liking it, but not loving it when I first saw it. And then I saw it again when I came back to LA the week after, and I fucking loved it.
Cool.
So,
cool.
Yeah.
Clarke, how about you?
I hope you immediately defriended this person.
I did. I blocked him on all social media. By the way, I've sweared a lot. Are we okay?
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, it's fucking okay.
Okay. Sorry, I was very horrified. I hate spoilers.
I was so mad.
I'm with
that
you.
is
assholes
brutal.
And like the
who
thing
do
is, like
that.
if somebody had been like, "Hey, talking about it, like I like this," and I accidentally read it, that's on me. Like I totally would have owned that. Like I made a choice not to see it until Monday. That's totally my call. But he was actively trying to ruin it for people, and that's why he's a dick.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a total
No argument about that. We can discuss the prequels, but not that bullshit. That's unforgivable. Clarke?
Yes. So I also want to interject real fast that please do not attribute liking the prequels to my generation because I'm going to take a little issue with that because I was the generation that those prequels were aimed at. And even as a kid, I was like, no. I still have not seen every minute of all 3 of those prequels on purpose. In protest. I was like, no. I skipped the second one.
You didn't find yourself, when you were about 14, attracted to 9-year-old boys? That was not a...
Was it? No.
Ones that harassed
the
you
thing you didn't pick up?
your whole life?
Okay, so you didn't like the prequels.
No.
Did you get exposure to the classic?
Yes. So I watched the originals, of course, before all of the prequel nonsense happened, and I loved them. I remember when they were re-released in theaters. My dad took me to all of them. There were big lines and all that stuff, but I believe I remember I have this very vivid memory of knowing what Star Wars was and knowing who Darth Vader was as a small child because my dad would stand outside my bedroom and go and I'd go and he'd go, it's just me, I'm just kidding. And it was actually very cute.
Was he
not
just being Darth
traumatizing.
Vader, or did he have asma, or was there anything?
Yeah, he was a smoker, and he had no, just kidding. That's not true.
He's like, what's Star Wars?
No, but so I watched a lot of movies with my dad growing up as a kid, and I was into all of the Willow, Labyrinth, Legend, like all, Princess Bride. These are things that my dad showed me when I was growing up. So Star Wars was a big part of that, and I just loved Yoda. Yoda was my guy.
Pretty awesome.
I was telling you before we came out here, I had a pencil box that I had cut out pictures of Yoda and taped on, and inside my pencil box were different collectible Yodas, including the one from Taco Bell's kids meal that I made I keep going back and I'd be like, do you have any Yodas? Can I trade my prize? Like, I was all about collecting and hoarding Yodas. This is true.
If you do improv, hoarding Yodas better be your next team name.
That's my That's my Twitter handle, actually, at hoarding Yodas.
Taco Bell Yoda. And did you enjoy The Force Awakens?
I did. I very much enjoyed The Force Awakens. And I similarly, Riley, avoided most materials. I mean, I watched the original, or the first teaser, and then I watched the first full trailer. But when clips started coming out and like international trailers, and I was like, no. I don't want to know. I didn't read any speculation. I tried not to look at any photos because I just didn't want. I'm not that kind of fan. I think there's a lot of different kinds of fandom, and that's just not my thing. I wanted to be as clean as possible, kind of going in. And I know this is going to sound so hokey and cheesy, but it's actually really true. At the end of The Force Awakens, the first time I saw it, I felt like that was such a cliffhanger. Like, I could not believe that's where they ended the movie.
Right, we should have been provided tables that we could flip at the end of the film.
Yes, indeed. Like, it was ridiculous, but at the same time, my fandom really awoke. Like, seriously. I mean, I know that sounds really lame, but it's true. And
I think the marketing people are fucking patting themselves on the back.
Oh my God.
We knew it would work 2 ways, motherfuckers, and it did.
And I just, so from then, I'm just so on board. And God, I'm in love with this cast. And I saw the movie again today. And it was, I'm sure we'll get into this, but it was such a different experience. I don't know if you guys had this, but the second time I saw The Force Awakens, I was like, this is like a different movie. Yeah. I mean, it was unbelievable. And I was moved, like, and well, first of all, seeing Rey as a Jedi with the lightsaber, I cried as a nerd girl. Like, really, I was in tears the first time. And then throughout the whole rest of the movie, I was really, today when I was rewatching it, I was really moved by so much of the story that was going on. It's actually, I just think it's a great movie.
Cool. Well, let's get into some of the details. So my first question for you guys, we'll go down the line. Which character in The Force Awakens would you hug if you could hug any character in The Force Awakens? Matt?
My first thought would be Finn. Like, Finn just feels like he needs a hug, like right off the bat. It's just like what a life, man. Like just like you know, we never knew what the deal was with stormtroopers before, and actually I was a little bit hesitant about that idea of like, oh wait, is this going to take the fun away from all the stormtroopers we've seen die? like it's so, like, you never give it a second thought, like, these fucking stormtroopers, like they're so stupid, they just get shot.
It's
and
like those
fall
Austin
down.
Powers cutscenes where the henchman's family finds out they died.
But I was like, oh no, like, you can't give them humanity. But I was like, but he's such a great character.
But it works. We're totally introduced to humanity, and then seconds later, like, shoot that guy in the head. Yay.
He's like, I made
evil.
a decision that day to not kill. and then he's like turns around, like he's just blasting all of his old friends. But like, yeah, I just feel like he and then he does get a hug from Ray, which is a great moment.
But he works for it.
Yeah, big time.
Deserves it.
She does not want that. She does not give it up easily. She's like, don't even touch my hand. First
I love that. I caught that today. I didn't catch that the first time where she was like, "Stop holding my hand. I know how to run."
It's so amazing. Great, especially because like when he's like, "Are you okay?" after they get like blown up, and she's like, "What are you talking about?
Are you okay?
Yeah, like you're the one who's on the ground." But yeah,
I like that when she grabs his hands because she realizes he needs it, not because it's kind of cool.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Riley, who would you hug? Do you agree with Finn?
I would hug. Well, Finn is awesome. I mean, I would hug any of them, but if I had to pick, if I was only allowed to hug one, there was a hug embargo from the Hug Federation, I would probably.
Oh no.
I'd probably hug General Organa. I'm going to give her her proper title, unlike 3PO. Which, by the way, 3PO's one job is protocol, and he can't say the name of the woman he's working for.
I think that was very much on purpose.
Yeah.
He's made that mistake more than once because he's being a bitch about
it. For me, Leia is just like one of those things where, like, well, first of all, she just lost Han, so spoiler alert. So that's a sad thing, and also just like I think for me, Leia is such like an important, iconic character, and so I think it'd be like me hugging like my childhood, and like also like the fact that like you're here, and also Carrie Fisher seems like she needs it because the internet's been real shitty to her. So I feel like
Okay, we got a Finn, we got a Leia, Clarke.
Actually, mine was Finn too.
Really?
Yeah, it really was because similarly, I just feel like he needs a hug. Poor guy. But he gets lots of hugs. He hugs Poe a lot.
Yeah.
And he can't say that I blame him.
I think Poe is always hugging everyone with his energy.
He has so much huggable energy. But maybe Kylo Ren just needs. Well, we saw what happened.
Yeah, don't hug that guy.
Jesus Christ! I don't know if you saw the whole thing, but do not hug that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, I did.
It's an excellent segue to my next question. If you were in a room with Kylo Ren, how many times would you punch him?
Oh wait, mask off, I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you could, but if it was like he was restrained in some way, and it was like Matt Belknap alone with Kylo Ren, how many times would you punch him?
Oh, I mean, infinity, I guess. Like I don't know. Like what are the rules of the universe that we're in here? Like,
no, I think infinity is great.
Yeah. Like I mean, but like part of me that's tough because like part of me is kind of like what I think is so cool about this movie is like he is a way more interesting villain than I expected in a Star Wars movie because he is conflicted and you understand where he's coming from. He has both sides of the Force in him, and so I part of me actually does want to. Yeah, I feel the same way as Clarke. Like I do kind of want to give him a hug, but after killing Han Solo, it's like, dude.
That's what why I was curious to ask about the punching question is because you watch the majority of the film and you're like, oh yeah. This guy is misguided and really a jerk, and then Han Solo like, no, fuck you, die.
Right.
But I have a question. Were you guys surprised that happened? Like, really, you didn't see that coming? Because I saw that coming.
I
for
saw
like
it coming because Brody Kelly from Portland.
Fuck you, Brody Kelly.
His Facebook
Fuck
page.
Brody Kelly. You know what? I take my punches and I punch Brody Kelly.
We all punch Brody Kelly.
What's really funny is a lot of comics who had seen it, like, they go, hey, don't worry about it, it doesn't ruin it. And I go, you know that you confirming it makes it worse. Like you could have been like, he's full of shit. That didn't really happen. Just enjoy the movie.
But I will say, like, seriously, roll credits. I could have said to somebody, but I wouldn't have. But hadn't seen it, I would have said, yeah, I think Han Solo's dying. Harrison Ford is done. He does not want to be there. Now, granted, he showed up and he was great. Yeah. He was great.
Yeah.
But Harrison Ford does not want to be there. I think he wants to be at home, hanging out, having Chris Angel come in and do magic tricks or whatever.
He has to remake every other film. He's doing Blade Runner.
He
still wants to do Indiana Jones.
But yeah, I was not surprised by this at all. Like I would have, if I had to predict a death, that would have been my prediction.
You mean like before you even went in the theater?
Yes.
Okay, so like for me, I didn't see it coming that way, but it's definitely foreshadowed in the movie where you feel like it's coming. So in a way, when it happens, it wasn't like the gut punch that I maybe would have thought it was. But and I also do feel like from a story standpoint, it's such a strong choice, and it's such a great way to establish Kylo Ren, who is up until that point just a Darth Vader fanboy. He's just kind of a punk, and you're like, oh shit, this dude just killed his father, aka the coolest motherfucker in this galaxy. Now I kind of have to respect him a little bit, even though I hate him times a million.
Right. So you would say, I respect you, and then punch him in the face.
Yeah, I'd be like, you know what? Yeah.
I hate you with every fiber of me, but goddamn it, I respect you.
So are you going to punch Kylo Ren, Riley, or are you going to punch your friend from Facebook? Your old friend.
Let's not say friend. Yeah. I think I would get one punch in, and I'm imagining an airplane-like scenario where everybody would be lined up behind me with a various weapon of their choice, ready to punch.
Nice.
Actually, can it not be a punch, but just like an open hand slap? I feel like that's more appropriate for him.
Yeah.
Like he just seems like a guy that needs an open hand slap.
Yeah, I think that would be more satisfying to watch in slow-mo.
Yeah, I think it would feel better for me too. Like I'm not a punching guy, but a nice whack.
Nice, yeah.
And I'm not a slapping guy either, but that just feels like the right thing to do.
I like the idea of I'm not a punching guy, but I will slap the shit out of him.
I don't even know what I mean by any of that. I just feel like that's punching. I don't know.
It's a better just cinematic picture that the mask would come off with a the air comes out.
I would even do it with a glove. Like maybe like if I could find Darth Vader's old glove, I would slap him with that.
I'm just picturing that scene from Robin Hood Men in Tights where he picks up the knight's hand and just hits him across the face, except it's Darth Vader. No, only Men in Tights fan here? Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Okay, so my next question is one that has not been examined as much. Do you think that Poe should have let Finn keep his jacket?
Oh man.
Yes.
It suits him.
It does suit him.
I kind of feel like that's one of those things where he's like Mark Zuckerberg and he has a closet full of those jackets. It's just like, whatever. Like, yeah, you can have it. And then he's got like 25 other ones at home.
That would be a great deleted scene where Finn starts looking around the base and every attractive guy is wearing one of his jackets.
Oh, so that's your move.
Thought I was special.
He's hugging everybody.
So we're all team Finn keeps the jacket.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
good. So do you guys believe
But
the
that'd be a
internet...
weird thing to be really against too, because that's like not a thing you would ever get satisfied if you were like, "Oh, damn jacket!" Like if you're that mad that Finn has the jacket, you're never going to be happy about anything ever. I think. In your life.
There's always room to be mad about something in the Star Wars galaxy.
That's what I'm saying. So the thing you get hung up on is where the jacket is. You're done. You might as well get out of the game at that point.
Doesn't it look better on Finn than Poe? I kind of think it does. Like when you think about
who
wore it best, Joe.
I think Poe wears anything better than anyone
Oh, wow.
ever.
Wow.
See, I mean,
I am a married straight man, and I
He's a
spend
good-looking
most
man.
of my day thinking about Poe.
Yeah.
The amount of straight boys that I know who are on like Facebook being like, I'm not gay, but I really do like. I'm like, it's okay to like a dude. Like you don't have to like get that upset about it. Like not to you, but like I mean, I'd be like there was a guy who was like, yeah, he's like George Clooney where he transcends sexuality. I'm like, or sexuality is a fluid construct.
Yes, whatever percentage of me is gay would be so excited to have some quality time and get a jacket from Poe. If you know what I mean.
Will they bring the jacket back? Can I ask that? Do you think that will Poe or will Finn still be wearing that jacket in Episode 8? Anyone?
I think so. I think Finn for the jacket will be. It's weird because I kept trying to figure out what character was supposed to be analogous to like what character from the original trilogy, and I feel like Finn because I thought Poe might be Han because he's the best pilot, but I think Poe might actually be the Leia because he's the one who's already in the Resistance and kind of established. Mm-hmm. And then if that's the case, then Finn is kind of the Han character and Rey is definitely the Luke character. So I feel like as Han definitely had the iconic.
I disagree. I think Finn is Luke. And I'm sorry. I mean more in personality, less in like story arc.
Yeah.
Because Finn is kind of like, whoa, I don't know, guys, what's going on? And
An excellent impression.
It's a really good impression, by the way, of the
Do you guys remember when
very
Jerry Lewis
handsome and
played
talented, John Boyega. But and then I think that Rey has that, I don't know, because she and Han have such great scenes together.
Yeah, you know those
There's
books where you
clearly-
flip together like the top, the
phases.
middle, and the
Yes.
body? Like I think that's what they did with the original
Totally.
trilogy characters. Of
Yeah.
like we're going to give each of these characters so that then nerds will sit and do podcasts and try to map them.
Yeah,
onto each
like-
other
But who's wearing the
unsuccessfully.
jacket in that
Yeah,
in that situation?
yeah. But
That's the question.
I think the Poe thing is that we haven't seen a character just that positive and sort of unconflicted.
Yeah.
And I've been describing him as everybody's sexy older brother. Like he just spends most of the movie kind of life coaching. Like even though he gets tortured, you walk away and just half the movie is just like, yeah, buddy, good job.
He's
Hey,
like-
good to see you, buddy.
You're right. He's like John Cusack in Stand By Me. He's just like, hey, chap. Like, he's just like just tussling everybody's hair. And like they're putting a baseball cap on you backwards and giving you a slap on the ass.
There is something pretty badass about him too in that very first like fight scene where he just like has Kylo Ren right in front of him. He's like, "So who talks first? I talk first."
Oh,
Yeah.
so great.
Like that.
Such a great moment.
That level of
Yeah.
like just like brass right in the beginning. It's like, all right, I like what this guy's doing.
By the way, I feel like I'm responsible for getting way too hung up on the jacket thing, but I just remembered something else. For like 5 seconds, did anyone else notice this? Rey wears the jacket.
Yes, yeah, when
Yeah.
it's cold
Star
outside.
Killer.
I noticed that because I was like, "What a gentleman, Finn," because
Yeah.
he had his Under Armour on.
Yeah,
It's
a deleted scene
was
that we'll
re-
get on the DVD that will explain
Yeah.
the jacket transition.
I
They
don't
better
think we
explain
needed.
that.
I think it was just gentlemanly for a stormtrooper. He's very gentlemanly.
Well, this is you're
Look at
making
that
some
swamp for a
headcanon.
stormtrooper.
Because it is deleted on the DVD. It'll be on the DVD, the jacket explanation. But I like your headcanon.
Wait, that's literally a thing. I thought you were kidding. That's actually
Yeah,
Yeah,
There's
even
a
though I
whole
used the
sequence
nerd
they
voice.
cut out.
I'm sorry. What more explanation do we need than it's cold outside and she has no sleeves? Then
I like you're writing this like angry version of Baby It's Cold Outside.
they're running through the snow and she has no protection. So
No,
now
I don't disagree with you.
I don't think that's the
complimenting.
only reason that the scene existed. I think there's like a more. It was basically, I think they were explaining how they got from point A to point B.
Speaking of
Yes.
jackets, I noticed Han Solo takes his jacket off a lot, and Chewie's like throwing it to him, and he's like, "I got it," and then he's got it on later, and I'm like, "Guys, we just forget about the jacket."
That was the original title of the film. Is Star Wars: the coat switches.
The jacket awakens.
Here's another question for you guys. Who do you think would have a better social media presence, R2 or BB-8?
BB-8, but R2. Oh, never mind. I take it back. I thought you said C-3PO.
You can go off reservation on this if you want. You can go crazy. R2 or BB-8 or any character if you want.
I'm gonna say R2. I feel like R2 has this. So he's like more jaded. Like he's gonna have a better perspective on things. You know, what I mean? like BB-8's like a kid who's on. Like he might have more followers, but he's not saying anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm going to admit, this is a leading question, and you gave me exactly the answer that I think.
I think BB-8's got it going on Instagram. I think he does a lot. I think
Yeah, totally.
There's a lot-
He's got a selfie arm,
well, he's
doesn't
doing
he?
a lot of cosplay. Big
BB-8's
fan-
like the guy trying to. He's like, I'm on
Yeah.
Peach. Like, does anyone know? It's like the new. Everyone's like, fuck off, BB-8.
He's like, I look like a peach. This kind of works out. And then he's like, buy some oranges. And then and maybe a Tumblr too. I guess him having a Tumblr where he's writing a lot of like Finn/Poe fan fiction stuff like that.
C-3PO would definitely be sharing his political beliefs
Yeah.
on Facebook because
Yeah.
he's a dad. He's
Yeah.
he's like someone's dad.
Yeah.
He'd
Droid
be
dad.
like fighting atheists on about like the existence of the Force on Twitter. And I think R2 would be good on Twitter. I think because he's a very like he gets what he says done in a few beeps. Like he's very like concise or whatever. So I think he could just crank out some good stuff. And
Nice. Okay. So
I love R2's hollow vines. Those are great. He has the best hollow vines.
just 6 seconds of
his
R2
best
being
one
bitter.
is help me Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah. Oh my God. I think it has the most views of
Yeah.
any hollow vine.
Yes, that is the most viewed Vine ever of Princess Leia asking for Obi-Wan Kenobi's help. Okay, next question. Han was stabbed, fell into a pit, then the planet blew up and turned into a sun. Do you think he's still alive?
I've thought way too much about what's going on with Harrison Ford because I don't want to ruin anything for people, but supposedly
out
he
there.
is going to be in some way, shape, or form.
He's
in
on the
episode 8.
IMDb page, and
Yeah.
Kathleen Kennedy said at one of the premieres, everybody's going to be back,
Right,
and Harrison
right.
Ford was standing there. So
Yeah.
do you think there's any way that Han Solo is still alive? And pitch me your theory if you got one.
I think that Han Solo. My real theory is he'll probably be a Force ghost, even though he's not a Jedi. But I feel like maybe like because his death was so important towards Kylo Ren's fall to the light
Yeah.
side.
Maybe
or
it's the
dark
thing
side.
that kills you that makes you a Force
Could
ghost. So like
be,
if you're
yeah.
killed by a lightsaber, you get
Yeah.
to be a ghost.
It
That-
could be, and
no,
also-
that's just-
and also-
that's wrong.
and
I'm
also-
sorry. That's
and
wrong.
Also,
It's all stupid.
Okay.
It would be stupid if he's a ghost.
Honestly,
I'm
I
going to be
think what
pissed.
it might be is flashbacks as to why Kylo Ren.
Flashbacks is, yeah, I think
happened.
flashbacks,
But I also feel like if the extended universe novels had to work so goddamn hard to bring back Boba Fett, then yes, I believe Han Solo could also still be alive because apparently you can't let people die in Star Wars. So
Yeah, it's a brave new world of dying with the new canon. But
and there's
Clarke,
a whole
do you,
new extended universe to bring into books. So.
yeah,
No,
absolutely.
he's dead. He's dead. Guys, get over
dead.
it. He's dead. It's
It's-
time. MoveOn.org. It's.
Agreed.
I hate to.
I think he is, but I think there'll be flashbacks.
I do that. Yeah, if he comes back, I think it's gonna be flashback for him. I don't think he's still alive though.
Good,
He
good.
did
Or
look
does he
pretty-
have a brother?
Maybe like that.
Van Hollow.
Han Duo. Oh. You don't know how surnames work on his planet. Maybe Han is his last name.
That's really disturbing. Okay, we're gonna move on to a lightning quiz. Are you guys ready for the quiz? Okay. So Matt, this question is for you.
Okay.
How many pages long is the novelization of The Force Awakens?
Oh, I'm reading it right now. It's like 263 or something. It's like in the 260, 250, 260.
That's exactly correct.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
I'm not done. I'm 2 chapters away. I'm reading it to my daughter.
Wow.
If that's not an excuse, I understand that. I'm totally willing and able to. But yeah.
I'm going to give you 1,000,000 credits.
Oh, thank you.
Is
Portions, you
your score.
mean?
Yeah,
1 million
portions.
portions?
A million portions.
It's a great Simon Pegg impression.
I was looking away. Which one of you made that noise?
That was me.
Nice.
Simon Pegg came running in the back.
You didn't see
Did
it?
it and left.
He's been very nice to be so quiet so far. Because he has a lot of Star Wars opinions. I would expect him to shout out. Riley, how many actors from Love Actually appear in The Force Awakens?
Ooh. I'm going to say 4.
My answer is not enough.
I'll give Clarke 1 point for that. The answer is 1 to the best of my knowledge.
It's the kid, right?
It's the kid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's the control room guy.
Yeah, Liam Neeson's son.
Who
in
was
Love
also
Actually.
in a Doctor Who two-parter.
He's also on
Hey,
Game of Thrones.
This is a Star Wars nerd podcast. Get
Right?
that shit out of here.
Jojen Reed, yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to Obsessed: IMDb special episode. We review places we know people.
But General Hux is in another. Why can't I think of the guy's name off the top of my head? The director of Love Actually, who
Richard
wrote a Doctor
Curtis?
Who episode.
Yeah, Richard Curtis. Yeah, we were just talking about that.
Yeah, we were talking about it backstage.
Riley, I also love Doctor Who, so I give you permission to just quietly under your breath say, also Doctor Who, anytime.
But no, he was in About Time, which is also Richard Curtis. It's he played. The
I really
main
like
lead-
that movie.
It's a good movie.
It's a very
good,
good
yeah.
movie.
Not enough Han
It's funny,
dying in it.
I didn't realize it was him because he looks so different in The Force Awakens. That, like,
Dominic
he completely-
Gleeson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's insane how.
Did you just call him Donnie Gleason?
No, Dominic, right?
Okay.
Donald.
Dommel. Oh, I'm so sorry. Jesus Christ.
I like the idea that you were just like, yeah, me and Donnie Gleason. We go way back.
Donnie Gleason. He gave me his jacket, so
He does have one of those like.
we're practically
good in it.
lovers.
You
Clarke,
played him, right? You played him in the.
Yeah, on the internet,
Yeah.
In my friend's mean comments, I play
I was
Dommel
calling back
Gleason.
earlier in the podcast.
Clarke.
Yes.
There is a gratuitous butt shot in The Force Awakens. Which character's butt do we see for too long?
Oh my God.
You
Phasma?
No, there's never too.
Her
There's never
shiny
too,
metal ass.
There is never too long to see Gordon Christie's butt. I will see that all day. every day.
I wouldn't be mad at it. I don't know the answer to that.
This is more from my perspective. There's the beast that's also drinking from the well, which is called a lug-a-beast.
Yeah.
And as Finn runs away, the camera just dead center in beautiful IMAX, thrust into my face, 3D, is the lug-a-beast's butt.
That's
Oh.
actually a Hapabore. The Lug-a-Beast is what
Tito is riding?
Yeah, sorry.
I thought that
Oh, we
was
thought
just
you were a
a
fan.
lug-a-beast
Oh, that's weird.
without armor on.
No, those are called Hapabores. Those
Since
big-
the question was incorrect, do I get points?
Yeah. You get
I'll take
800 my shame points.
Sorry, Joseph.
So enjoy that. Matt is still winning for knowing the exact number of pages in novelization. Okay, Matt, please tell me, out of these 3 characters, who would I personally marry, fuck, and kill?
Okay.
Snoke, Maz Kanata, and Admiral Akbar. Who would I marry, fuck, and kill?
Kill Snoke, marry Maz Kanata, and fuck. Wait, what was the third one?
Akbar.
Akbar. Yeah. Gotta fuck
Don't do
Akbar.
it. It's a trap. Yeah.
Oh my God, it was a race. Who won?
That is exactly correct.
Yes.
I started with the kill, and when you start with kill, you end up in weird places when you get to fuck.
Yeah.
That's the lesson. Always start with fuck when playing marry, fuck, kill. Riley, how many times did I cry during the first time I saw Force Awakens?
I'm going to say the entire film.
So with no pause,
Right.
That would be
the
one.
The second you heard the score come popping in and the words across the screen, you just started crying and then you never stopped.
In my heart, that's true. But water only came out of my eyes once. Do you want to guess where?
I'm going to guess that... God, now I got to think. I'm gonna guess it was when Finn gave Poe. when Poe told Finn to keep his jacket, you seem really caught up on that scene. So
No, I cried when Leia and Han hugged in the great close-up of Leia because it had such power in the film, but also just the power of seeing that actor getting to be like on screen and kicking ass, and it made me weep. No joke there, just weeping.
now I feel bad about my joke being funny.
No, the jacket was a good guess. I'm probably going to cry next time because I'm going to be wishing that Poe was giving me the jacket. Clarke, what is to me the funniest line of dialogue in the film?
There are so many.
Yeah, but to me.
To you. Well, to you, it will probably be some joke that I don't understand.
That is exactly correct.
Because I laughed at all the funny, like, snarky comments. But
Yeah.
I don't... something Han Solo said.
It's a good guess.
Am I getting closer?
It's close to something Matt said earlier.
Oh, was it you talk first, I talk first?
No.
Oh, okay, then I give up.
No, I
have a guess.
It's a jerky question. Go ahead.
Well, this is what I think is the funniest line of the movie. That's not how the Force works.
Yeah.
Right? It's so good.
That is
Agreed.
absolutely objectively the funniest
But
line.
that's what something Han said, right?
Yeah.
All right.
But here's the thing. I've seen the film 5 times, and I've already done literally, I think, 16 podcasts in relation to The Force Awakens.
Oh, we're sorry we're wasting your time talking about it.
This is like Force Awakens 101, man.
You get another 800 points of my shame as well. You're all full of shame.
I don't win for getting anything right. I win for wearing you down as a person.
The line that made me laugh out loud the last time, and I was alone, is just the way Unkar Plutt delivers the line, "I'll pay you for him," about BB-8, because it sounds like he's throwing up in his mouth.
I'll pay you for him.
And just he's got this great lead up on the all is soft, but then the pay is he's really choking it back.
I'll pay you for him.
I would have never
great.
gotten that.
No.
Never.
Yeah, that's tough. That's a really
These
tough
are
one.
asshole questions.
I kind of noticed the last time I saw it that I feel like at a certain point, every single thing Han Solo says is funny in that movie. I don't know if you guys
Yes.
noticed that. Like, there's a
Yes.
thing when they're roughing up Captain Phasma in the shield room there, and he just goes like Finn's getting all excited and goes easy, and it's just like the way he does
Or he
that.
calls
is
him
hilarious.
Big Deal. Like,
Yeah,
like,
the
come
big
on,
deal
Big
thing
Deal.
is always
like,
funny.
Like throughout the whole movie, though, which is
Yeah.
kind of great.
Yeah. I mean, he's note perfect, and he gets a lot of great dialogue. Okay, so this is the final question. Right now, Matt is ahead with 2 million credits,
Portions.
and
Portions.
Riley and Clarke both have 800 my shame. It's a very fair quiz. But you can all catch up. The final question for each of you, one by one, I would like you to do your best impression of what Finn does during most of the movie, which is breathe heavy as he is stressed and running places. So Matt, can you give me your best Finn breathing heavy in a stressful moment?
All right. Well, I'm going to do the first thing I think any of us saw from this movie, the first shot we ever saw from this movie. This is it.
For listeners, Matt did a great job of bending his head and popping into the frame of the
That's right.
podcast.
By the way, full disclosure, first time I saw that, I thought it was a fan film because I didn't know who John Boyega was and I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know the trailer was coming out. I just saw that like in a Facebook feed and I was like, oh shit, this is a really good fan film.
How did they go to Tunisia
Yeah.
to shoot this?
And some critics say that of The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Since everyone
It is
made
a really
as
good fan film. I think I stand by that.
All right, Riley, give me your best Finn breathing heavy.
Okay, my Finn is when he has drank out. What was the animal's name again?
The Hapabor.
The Hapabor's water thing. So it's the. He's more drinking heavy than breathing heavy, but some people drink water.
There's some
breathe water,
intake there,
so,
yeah.
All right, I accept that. It's canonical. Clarke.
Well, one thing I noticed about the very handsome and talented John Boyega is that he breathes through his cheeks. So he goes. Like it's not like in his it's all in his cheeks, so he puffs his cheeks out. So and he looks around a lot. That's my impression.
That's great.
Thank you.
That is great. And also, I really, really love, this is a difficult question, and I love that you set it up. This is my impression of the very talented John Boyega.
He is, and he's
He is.
handsome.
He is. I was really nervous because as the clips all piled up, there were so many shots of him breathing heavy. And I really thought, like, is this poor guy going to take a
He was
fucking
so
breath
sweaty
ever?
too. Everybody was so sweaty in this movie. Ray
Yeah.
was sweaty and he was sweaty. I noticed that today, actually.
Okay, I'm going to let the audience determine who won our quiz by applause. So I'll name each person, and please applaud for who you feel was the victor of this incredibly dumb, biased quiz. Matt Belknap. Riley Silverman. Clarke Wolfe.
I thought she was the best.
Yeah, I
I'd
think
go for that.
Clarke won by with her cheek huffing, I think.
Yeah.
Thank
Excellent.
you.
So, what's your name?
Josh.
Did you see The Force Awakens?
I did.
Did you like it?
I did.
Who's your favorite character?
Oh, Han Solo, of course.
Did you see Force Awakens?
Probably. Can't recall it, though.
You don't remember if you saw The Force Awakens?
I probably have, though. I've seen a lot of movies.
This is the one that just came out in theaters a little while ago. Star Wars.
Oh, no, I haven't seen it then.
But you know how some people are like totally obsessed with Star Wars?
White people, though. That's white people.
What's your favorite character from Star Wars? You must know like a character.
Luke.
All right. Did you see The Force Awakens?
Yes.
Okay. Who's your favorite character?
Oh, man. I mean, if I said Han Solo, that would be an easy out. But
Who's your least favorite character?
the evil grandson of Darth Vader could have been a little, he could have been a little bit more disruptive as a character. I was looking for a little bit of that Vader omnipresence characteristic.
He murdered Han Solo. What do you want? Did you see The Force Awakens?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
No, that is fucking bullshit. That was trash. That was really trashy. Fuck this shit.
Fair enough. Did you see The Force Awakens?
No, I haven't.
Do you like Star Wars?
No, not really.
What do you think of people who are obsessed with Star Wars?
I don't put judgment on people. I mean, to each his own, right?
Yeah, amen. Did you see The Force Awakens?
Yeah, I saw it.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it was all right.
People are obsessed with Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
What do you think about people who are super obsessed?
Yes, there's worse obsessions. If they want to buy into it, that's good for them.
That's fair.
Rather than doing drugs.
Star Wars, better than drugs.
Yeah.
At
There's your
least.
clip right there.
Nice, perfect.
We're running short on time, but I'm going to ask you guys, we ask these how obsessed are you questions on every podcast, so I'll go down the line. Matt, do you think about The Force Awakens every day?
Yeah. No question about it.
Riley, do you think about The Force Awakens every day?
Yes.
Clarke, do you think about The Force Awakens every day?
No.
No. Do you think about the very talented John Boyega's cheeks?
Maybe.
And which cheeks?
No comment.
Nice. If I was still doing a quiz, I'd give you points, Riley. Next question
I
is:
give myself points.
Matt, would you get a The Force Awakens tattoo?
No. I have one tattoo, and I'm one and done on that. But
Okay.
if you were saying like, were you to get a tattoo, even though you're not, like, would you get one? Maybe.
Yeah.
Not. I mean, I don't know. Force Awakens, probably just Star Wars. Like, I don't know if it would be specific to this film, but
So it wouldn't be
something.
like a picture of old Han Solo.
With a hole in him. Yeah.
I mean, I might go Millennium Falcon with the new rectangular sensor dish because I do kind of like that. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I would probably just go like Rebel Alliance logo. Like
Nice,
yeah.
nice. And how about
What's
you,
that
Riley?
look like? Could anyone have an idea of like
The Rebel Alliance?
I know.
You mean the T-shirt that I'm wearing? Yeah.
I almost wore that too.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same thing. I don't think that I would get specifically a Force Awakens tattoo because I can't think of anything from the film that specifically I would get. Maybe BB-8, that'd be the only thing. But
Okay.
Yeah, I don't even have a Doctor Who tattoo, so.
Would you get it? Would you get if you were going to get a BB-8? Would you have it on a part of your body that people see regularly?
Yeah, I think I would probably get like on my arm somewhere where if I need to cover it up or something I could, but
Okay.
it's there if people need to see.
Would you get a little cartoon where he's rolling down your arm?
Yeah, I get a whole hologram. I get one of those, like those like dancing lady tattoos. I'd get one of like a BB-8, and if you turn your arm, he pulls his fire out and gives you a thumbs up.
Yeah.
And starts writing on Tumblr.
Nice. And Clarke, would you get a Force Awakens tattoo?
No, but I could see down the line if there's some iconography associated with Rey, if she keeps being as incredible as she
Right.
is, I could see that being a possibility.
If there's a symbol that like
Yeah.
sums her up, like if she keeps having her staff. throughout her
something,
character
yeah.
arc.
So you would get like a staff tattooed across your face?
Right on
like
my
the poster?
nose.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
totally, like right there.
Does anyone else want to see that staff get some lightsaber action on the end of
Yes.
it? Like, wouldn't that be the best? Like a staff with a lightsaber.
I've read so many nerd theories though about what the staff is made out of that like I have so many like cool ideas about it. Like, oh my god, I can't wait to find out what's going on with that.
Yeah, and it still might be absolutely nothing.
Yeah, it could be all garbage.
Yeah.
Or from what I hear, they have to rewrite a bunch of shit because they didn't plan on her being as popular as she is. So that's part of. They're saying it's part of why the delay.
We need to do a whole podcast on that, by the way. 'cause
no worries on that.
That'll be number
I don't think
17.
anyone's talking about it on the internet.
Yeah,
So-
really? Are they not?
Speaking of the internet, Matt, would you write slash fiction about The Force Awakens?
My daughter is 7 and she doesn't know that term, but
Okay.
she's just learning, she's learning how to type on a keyboard, and she's basically doing that without knowing that she's doing it.
Okay.
Which I think is adorable, and I'm very proud of her.
Who's meeting who in her slash fiction in The Force Awakens?
It's all about Finn and Rey.
Nice.
It's just Finn and the adventures of Finn and Rey, and BB-8 gets in there. You know, he gets some play too. But yeah, she's big on Rey.
Awesome.
But no, I don't think so.
Okay.
So here's my thing about that is that I'm a lesbian and I really like Captain Phasma, but I also like the thing about Rey is that we were talking about Rey. I like her so much as like an iconic figure, and like she's so that for me, like I don't want to think of her as somebody to like sexualize right now. I want to just think of her as this badass Jedi character, and I actually almost want them to do the thing where like because she's a Jedi, they don't even make her like a love interest to anybody. They just make her a Jedi who doesn't fall in love because she's a Jedi.
Yeah,
like because that doesn't work out for every Jedi so far. So like for me, it's like it's weird whenever someone like starts talking about her like in a sexual way, it skews me out because I'm like, no, Rey's just like a like. I think of Rey so much about like how I as a kid like would have connected with her and like how important it was for me at that age to have really strong female characters because I was so closeted and so like needing that and not having enough of it. So for me, like it feels really weird to me to sexualize her. Mm-hmm. So because I have a friend who really sexualizes Kylo Ren, like really sexualizes him, and I at first I like jokingly played along with like
are they sending you slash fiction?
They're not, but they're posting a lot of it on their Twitter that I could go to it if I wanted to. But
who is Kylo Ren hooking up with? Or is this
I think her mostly in this fan fiction. But yeah, so with Rey, like so I don't really think of who in the movie I would pair into a slash couple as far as ladies go. So I don't think that I would. That was a long answer to say no. I could have just said no.
No, but it makes perfect sense about Rey.
And also Gwendolyn Christie, I could just have like if she was just like I mean she could be Brienne of Tarth at this point, and I would still be like, let's see what goes with this.
Okay,
So.
Would you maybe read Brienne of Tarth in Captain Phasma slash fiction?
That'd be kind of weird to have this like because at best they'd be genetically the same. That'd be kind of creepy. Like, here, go find your exact clone and make out. Well, I guess people would be into that, but yeah, I don't know.
Thank you for working through the actual like science of that slash fiction question.
It's important to get it right.
Clarke, would you read any slash fiction about The Force Awakens?
No, probably not. I mean, I would like if I could write it, I would write myself into The Force Awakens. That'd be cool. Like Clarke gets to go to The Force Awakens and like hang out with everybody.
It's a place.
Yeah, that's where I get to go. That's the place. But also, I think too, to go off what you were saying, I feel like when I was rewatching the film today, both Riley and Finn feel very childlike to me.
You mean Rey, right?
Oh,
no,
thank
let
you.
Her, let her have
thank
it.
you. Oh, sorry.
She's writing you into it.
You
right
do
now.
feel very childlike to me, but yeah, Rey and Finn feel very very innocent. Like they're just so.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like I'm not really ready. They just seem like kids right now.
Yeah. This is not a question of just to be clear. The intent of this question is not should Rey and Finn hook up because that's not what I want as a Star Wars fan. I just want to know how into it you are to the point where you would read if it popped up.
If somebody wanted to write me into The Force Awakens slash fiction,
I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna write a story called Clarke Goes to The Force Awakens.
Yes. I would read that. Yes.
The Force
You're gonna be
Awakens open at
surprised.
8 p.m. But what if it's just her going to the movies? Like she bought popcorn and my friend like the weekend that opened posted a slash fiction of Rey and Kylo and had to put a disclaimer of this presupposes that they're not cousins and it's not canon until it's canon. I'm like, the second I had to write that disclaimer, I would have been turned off for having to write anything else. But apparently it's like, no, I'm still going for it. So,
Matt, would you stop having sex to watch The Force Awakens?
No. But I had to think about it. Luckily, you asked that question 3 times, so I had plenty of time to think about it. And the answer is no.
I'll probably edit this podcast. So there were some technical difficulties, listeners, and I asked Matt 3 times.
Sorry, I totally blew your cover.
Matt denied you 3 times.
Oh, my God. Riley, would you stop having sex to watch The Force Awakens? Would you stop having sex to watch The Force Awakens? And would you stop having sex to watch The Force Awakens? I want to be fair.
I wouldn't need to. It could help.
Nice. Clarke, are you familiar with the question?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
Would you stop having sex to watch The Force Awakens?
No.
Would you stop having sex to watch any movie?
Yeah.
What movie would you stop for?
Well, I wasn't prepared for that question.
That's a perfectly fine response.
Maybe have me back on your podcast next time, and then I'll have a good answer for that.
Okay,
Joseph, would you stop having sex?
There is a strong chance. I would certainly yell out, "Oh my God, The Force Awakens!"
But
not during sex.
It's not currently your orgasm sound anyway.
Here's the thing.
So
Normally, when I ask these questions, people ask like sort of metaphysical, sort of how is this happening?
Yeah.
But like, if I were making love to my beautiful wife, my very talented wife,
The talented and
in my
beautiful.
bedroom, and suddenly
you
like
both breathing heavily.
The Force Awakens like started playing on my phone, I would be so amazed that it was happening now and it's not available anywhere.
Okay, well, if you're going to go that far, then my answer might change.
Okay, now that I paint
also
the
like
picture
that
for
it's
you.
playing on your phone, like you're like my phone just randomly downloaded and started playing this movie. Not like because in my mind, I guess I like retcon in my whole head. I thought it was like we were getting it on, and it was like TV was on, and The Force Awakens came on. But you had this whole like. It beams itself to your phone, like in a like it really wants you to watch it. I feel like you would have to watch it at that point.
This is my episode of Joseph Goes to The Force Awakens.
I was just about to say that's the new code. That's your new safe word.
It sounds like The Force Awakens comes to Joseph.
Indeed, it does, with deleted scenes too.
We find out about that
Involving
jacket.
the
That fucking jacket in there. Get the jacket.
Oh, switch your jacket.
Put it
Switch
on.
your jacket.
Is this episode totally obsessed with The Force Awakens jacket? Is that what? The,
I think I'm going to rename it. Can you guys quickly make a noise to sum up your obsession? Matt, what would the noise be that would sum up your obsession with The Force Awakens?
Well, after your last question, any noise I make is going to sound so terrible. Just like a nice crisp, like I don't know. It's
That makes
just
perfect
a very
sense.
satisfying.
Yeah.
I was so pleased with it. I enjoyed the hell out of it every time I watched it. I enjoy it more every time I watch it. So yeah.
Awesome. Riley, what is your noise to sum up your obsession with
I
The Force
think it
Awakens?
would be the noise that every child makes when we're in child at heart when we're playing lightsabers and we get very excited and get in the moment and just the.
Aw, nice. Nice. A Rey infused. Because she gets the lightsaber, right?
Yeah, she does.
Nice. Clarke.
I think mine would probably be just like, wow.
Okay.
I
now,
just really like, yeah.
it's a great movie. These are all great. Now, can we just go down the line and each make our noise? Matt?
Wow.
Wow. I feel like I'm watching PBS in the 70s. It was
Now
just
we
so
need Reggie
peaceful
Watts
and
to
nice.
come in and loop all that and just make a sick beat out of it.
Excellent. So we're running out of time. We got to get off the stage. So we ask our closing questions that don't have anything to do with the obsession. So we'll need real quick answers. Matt, if you could record a comedy podcast with any dead president, what president would you want to go with?
Teddy Roosevelt.
Any rationale? Just because he seems like he has a lot of opinions?
Completely fucking crazy. He's a homicidal maniac, and I think he would be entertaining. Like he's got crazy stories. I just want to like listen to his insane stories.
Excellent. And Riley,
Yes.
if you could fly, but only while holding an object in your hand, what would that object be?
Sonic screwdriver.
You're gonna get the Doctor Who in this podcast. That's great. Clarke, if you could shoot either of these things out of your hands, which would you choose? Lightning or $1 bills?
Lightning. It's like not even a question.
I love it when people answer my weird questions like I'm a fucking idiot for asking them. I'm serious.
It's just like
To be fair, with lightning, you can get a lot more higher denominations if you just ask very not nicely to people.
You could probably just shoot that lightning in an ATM and get money.
I just always have wanted to be a witch, kind of like be able to go pew, So to be able to shoot lightning out of my hands is pretty close.
Make some notes for my story.
Or a Sith Lord.
Clarke wants to be a witch.
Sidious, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
The final question for everyone on our podcast is always, what is happiness? So, Matt, what to you is happiness? Oh, it's your Force Awakens.
Yeah, it's the noise I make at Force Awakens. That's happiness. Oh man, the cheesy answer that I really feel is like watching Force Awakens with my kids. I took them to see
awesome.
it. It was great. Like I saw it once without them first because fuck them, they can stay home. But then we took them on the weekend, and it was awesome to see it through their eyes, kind of. You know what I mean?
That's
So,
awesome. Riley, what is happiness to you?
I think enjoying a fandom with people who are like cool about it, like people who aren't doing the whole like, are you a real fan kind of stuff, but people who just like genuinely love something and want to share it with other people who love it. So whether it's Doctor Who, whether it's Star Wars, Star Trek, or whatever, anything where you can just sit down and just enjoy it together. I think it's so much fun when you connect with people and stuff like that.
Awesome. And Clarke, what is happiness?
I think happiness is moments of feeling content and grateful, because that's something that I work on feeling more often. So there's moments where you're just kind of like, everything that's happening right now is pretty okay.
Yeah. This jacket does look good on me, right?
It does. And also shooting lightning out of your hand.
Yes. That is the best what is happiness answer I've got that ends with, and shooting lightning out of your hands. Ladies and gentlemen, that is our podcast.
You've been listening to Obsessed. Joseph Scrimshaw and his guest shared some stories with the rest. Rate 5 stars if you're impressed.